Mr. Will Dafoe, aka Mr. Green Goblin. I'm gonna go ahead and recap a couple of your characters here and there that I did see so far in a couple of your previous films, even if some of them are really short. I will say for the Green Goblin, I will pay my respects to your role in the performance of the character for both two films. But the weakest point about your character is this guy doesn't have much of a storyline. Well, except for Spider-Man 1, it is kind of decent. I will say for when you play that likable hitman from John Wick, the first one, I really like him a lot. He's a really good character to watch, but I wish I could get to know him just a little bit more, and it sucks that your character died. I really like you playing the right-hand man or the bodyguard of Aquaman from Aquaman, but I'm not so sure if you'll come back and reprise your role for the sequel of Aquaman 2. And sadly, I gotta skip it for some unknown reason. And I do know you were there at the Great Wall, but sadly, I never focus on your characters because I focus on another one. And I haven't never seen The Norseman yet, but I'm sure it's a pretty interesting movie to watch. But it's weird that you're playing a weirdo, insane man, whoever he is, who's going completely nuts. And as for that main character that you played from one of the most underrated films I have ever seen, called The Hunter, at least with this character, he is just right. That's for sure. And most of all, this character is not completely insane, as you always played so many insane people here and there. If you know what I mean. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka BoomBop1987. This is my review for today. And yes, ladies and dudes, I gotta tell you the truth right now, I do have a brand new haircut. I finally got my haircut yesterday at the haircut place at somewhere else in Virginia. Well, long story short, anyway. But yes, ladies and dudes, I finally got another movie review for all of you. And this movie review is going to be pretty darn interesting to all of you. Well, thanks to YouTube, I finally found a movie that is quite interesting to me, and I really want to check this movie out. And I'm so darn happy that this movie is finally free. So for my next movie review is called The Hunter. And it featured our favorite underrated actor of all time, Willem Dafoe, aka Mr. Green Goblin. I'm finally gonna see a movie where he's gonna have a full-fledged role in a movie. And I'm so darn happy that I finally found a movie at long last that is pretty darn interested to me. About seeing our favorite underrated actor finally getting a full-fledged role in a movie. And yes, I will tell you the truth, ladies and dudes, this dude had a storyline. That's for sure. And now, let's head on to my next movie review, called The Hunter. So, all I could say about the main plot of the story is a story about this hunter named Martin David, who has to go on some type of business trips around the mountains. I think he has to go to the forest to find an animal that's already extinct. And that is the Tasmanian tiger. And we already know that Tasmanian tigers did not exist no more as time goes on in our later on lives. But everybody believes that somehow in some way a Tasmanian tiger might be still alive somewhere somewhere in our modern area. So it's up to him to find it and try to kill it, but also he's gonna stay in somebody's house for a little while and take care of a family who needs some help right away. And that's all I can say about the main plot of the story. I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? Well, to tell you the truth, ladies and dudes, it's a pretty darn good movie to watch. I did enjoy this movie from start to finish. And yes, ladies and dudes, I will admit, it is a very, very sad story. Something I'm not allowed to spoil. That's for sure. I will say, it had a pretty good storyline for the most part. The characters are likable, has beautiful cinematography, great sceneries and highlight moments of the film. It had a really nice score. And yeah, this movie will end up in a sad note, that's for sure. And yes, Will Dafoe did a really good job of playing a really good full-fledged character who does have a great storyline. He does have a great personality and attitude. And his storyline is very darn simple and important. I will tell you that in a moment. And now let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of The Hunter. I will say for the strongest points for the movie is a tie. Just a tie between Willem Dafoe's performance as Martin David and also the cinematography. Yeah, Will Dafoe did a really good job playing with this character, and we could understand him where he's coming from, and he has to do his important stuff here and there. But I'll tell you more about the character in a moment, in the character-wise. And also for the cinematography, it is so darn breathtaking. I mean, I was blown away with the cinematography. It is very well spot on, very well detailed, and it's just beautiful to look at. Whoever made that cinematography for this movie, they did one heck of a good job. That's for sure. So yeah, for my two main strongest points of the movie is Will Dafoe's performance as Martin David and also the beautiful cinematography. And yeah, I do have two main weak points of the movie. Just two main weak points. I will say the movie is kind of slow here and there. And also, I wish there was a little bit more character development and chemistry between Martin David and this lady that he tried to get to know of. Yeah, I will say for this movie, it is kind of slow. Just in some parts here and there. If I can remember which scene of the movie that was kind of slow. Yeah, once the slowness will stop, it'll go back to its fast pace. So yeah, I will say the movie's a little bit slow. And also, another main weak point is, I wish there was a little bit more character development and chemistry between, Martin David and this lady he was about to get to know of. I was thinking, I hope and pray there'll be a couple in this movie. But sadly, they stayed as friends. And they just knew each other just a little bit from here and there. But I wish there was a little bit more to the story where they need to be fleshed out and develop a little bit more. I was hoping and praying they'll start falling in love, and maybe they'll have a kiss, and I'm not sure if they'll ever do a sex scene with each other. And yeah, it's the strangest fun fact is about this movie, it is truly based by a novel. And I never knew that. I did not know that this movie is based by a novel. That's for sure. So yeah, I will say for my two main weak points of the movie, it's a little bit slow, and I wish there was more character development and chemistry between Martin David and the lady. That's for sure. And now let's go on to the characters. I'll just stay with one character I care about in this movie, and that's Martin David, played by Will Dafoe, aka Mr. Green Goblin. I really do like this character so darn much, and I can understand where his storyline is coming from. He has some very hard struggles here and there in this movie. And it's up to him to pick which path he wants to follow. Does he want to become a family man so he could take care of the family and maybe he can become a dad for the little kids? Or does he want to continue on completing the mission of finding the last Tasmanian tiger and start killing it off once and for all? So yeah, his storyline is all about those two main paths. Which path he wants to go to. And maybe he could pick the rightful one at the rightful time. So yeah, he had a really good storyline, a great personality, great attitude. He's not completely insane or wild just like his other previous characters that he did so many years ago. He's really calm, very serious, and he just wants to take care of his job once and for all. And I do like some of the parts here and there in the movie where there's no dialogue at all. He had no dialogue in the movie where he did not say much while he's on a mission to find the Tasmanian tiger. Oh yeah, ladies and dudes, before I wrap up this movie review, I did found an interesting fun fact you should know about Will Dafoe. Did you know that he's not a meat eater at all? He's a vegetarian. And maybe this is a reason why he needs to keep his body in good shape for all these years. So he's not a big fan of eating meat. He is truly a vegetarian. And he doesn't like the part where animals will be killed and becoming food. And I can understand where he's coming from. That's for sure. So he really wants to stay in good shape while he's doing a film here and there. So thumbs up for that guy. That's for sure. I wish I could say more about this film. So I'll go ahead and tell you about my final thoughts of The Hunter. Overall, The Hunter is one of the best movies I have ever seen in so many years, but also it's a very underrated film indeed. And I wish everybody needs to talk about more about this movie. It is a very breathtaking film to watch. It had a very good storyline, likable characters, good casting, great drama, great cinematography, a very good score, and this is one of Will Dafoe's best films that he ever made so far in his career. So I decided to give this movie a 9 out of 10. Please check out this movie to believe it, and let's pay our respects to Mr. Green Goblin. He's working so darn hard with this film, and this film needs a little bit more love. That's for sure. And that's my whole entire movie review of The Hunter. So tell me, ladies and dudes, what is your favorite Will Dafoe movie of all time? And what is your favorite character that he ever played in one of those films? Well, whichever they are, just leave a comment there and let me know. And join me next time for more videos to come. And plus, ladies and dudes, I gotta let you know right now that my 11th anniversary is coming up on August the 28th, 2022. And I have no idea what I want to do for my 11th anniversary video. So let's wait and see what happens until that time comes. So yep, that is it for now. I'll see you guys later, and sayonara!